Good morning, Gita. This is your Echoes News for Tuesday, September 29th, 2020. Slowly and steadily, Plex is climbing up to an average of 210,000 per. We may still have until November for some new elements to be added to the game, but in the meanwhile, be aware that gate guns and low sec now deal ludicrous damage. Check your criminal timers before you warp. This week's Corp ad for you. TRFD, the Trade Federation. They work actively to equip their members with ships at cost, regardless of what you enjoy in New Eden. Industry members enjoy our corporate profit project program that pays our industry members above market values for materials. Combat pilots get the benefit of our Federation insurance. If you lose your ship during any corp operation or defending our industry members, we will replace the ship. They are stationed on the edge of nullsec with established nullsec alliances for protected material gathering. If you want to join a corp that appreciates each member, support your EVE endgame goals, and hang out all while raking in the ISK, come check us out. Alliance ad this week, the Eternal Armada. CEO Mad Rage at the helm. They sought to create a strong and self-sustaining nullsec alliance since launch. Today, with a flourishing economy within Null, the alliance boasts industrialists spanning all verticals, making their fleet SRP program and member discounts possible. They're not just able to build, but also defend. Recently, Genesis placed a POS in their backyard. Go ahead and ask them how that turned out. They invite experienced pilots and industrialists to join them as they create something special. All are welcome. A link to their Discord is in the description. This week's bounty is less on one person, more on an entire corporation. Keep your eyes out for URG, the Union. All their members, usually based out of STAC U8A4. There's a 20 million ISK bounty per kill. They have 2 to 3 retrievers frequenting asteroids protected by Omen or Vexor cruisers. You can receive your payment by PMing a screenshot of the killmail to Liosac on Discord, as the client wishes to remain anonymous. Links and details are in the show notes. Take a couple quick tips from Old Pirate. Seems like you guys like protecting your miners with stealth bombers, like it's a clever idea. All that means is a gang frigate is going to get a kill on a bomber as an extra added bonus. Likewise, cruisers and battlecruisers lock too slowly to stop a fast tackle frigate from killing and bouncing. Destroyers will give you the best balance of price, firepower, and speed. Also, while we're at it, stations are cool, but you seriously need to have hundreds of available, competent PvP pilots if you want to keep said station for longer than a week. Be ready to defend before you build structures. It'll save you a lot of tears. Alright, with us this week we've got Mad Rage of the Eternal Armada, the CEO there. Kaifus, EA's HR head and senior director. As well as Insidious, head PR rep for Eternal Armada. How are you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good. How about you?
Very well, thank you. So, Eternal Armada, kind of a big deal. Looks like you guys have just taken down a station.
Yes, we have. That's a good fight. Good 400 to 500 man conflict.
Haven't seen large battles in years, actually, so that's kind of exciting. It's coming to EE.
Yeah, it's our 4th or 5th one, specifically with between us and Jen since we moved in here.
But you want to shed a little light on what happened and why you're popping the stations?
Well, in this specific case, as everyone's pretty much aware, there is a big conflict between the Elysium Coalition and with the Gen Federation. I think that's what they call themselves anyway. We pretty much consider the KSM pocket to be part of Paragon Soul, even though it's technically Esoteria. But the only way to access it is through Paragon. Paragon, as it stands now, is claimed by our coalition. So when they decided to throw the station down in the KSM pocket, we figured it didn't need to be there.
It's pretty sound logic. Those hidden back pockets are very important to control.
Exactly, and we don't need them having a foothold in there. It was specifically a VEV, who is run by UA and UAF station, and we have had a month-long conflict going with UA, aka VEV, since before the Gen War kicked off.
Yep, we've been fighting them since we arrived at our current home. And they've been a thorn, but they've been dealt with pretty handily. They ended up getting Jen's backing, and were able to plop that station down.
I bet they regret that now.
Their activity has dropped a lot. Now, we're not entirely sure if that means they're dissolving or having membership issues, or just in a recovery stage, but it's definitely been a lot quieter at home than it is usually.
War's kind of won when they run out of people willing to fight.
For the moment, it's solved the UA problem, but it definitely has not solved the Gen problem. We're still waiting to see how that plays out.
So your alliance has a PR department.
We run an alliance Twitter. The handle is at Echoes Armada. We also have a YouTube channel made just a few days ago, so it's in its early stages. But it's going to be a chronicle of all our major achievements, upsets, and accomplishments throughout the life of EA, far into the future.
And the thing that's going to make it different from a lot of other alliances is that we're not just going to be posting the good stuff. The stuff that, we have to pound through and, we might lose pretty bad. We're still going to post that because it is part of our history, and it's something that when, however long down the road, we can look back and say, hey, look what we overcome.
Definitely respectable. In a couple of years in a propaganda department, we never did that ourselves. We always put our own spin on it. Props to you for showing the good and the bad.
Yeah, luckily we haven't had too much bad. I mean, there's been a few battles we can definitely say we didn't win. It hasn't been that bad, and we've made it through everything we've done so far.
That's awesome. I would imagine having enough publicity there also helps with recruitment.
I wouldn't say that's our goal. I mean, we always welcome recruits, but at the end of the day, this is more about our own members. It's about making a name for ourselves. It's about showing that we're a part of this community and that we plan to stay. There's a reason that we have Eternal in our name. We don't plan to go away.
So this alliance, I saw briefly a little bit about how it started, but why don't you tell me a bit how it got going?
Well, originally, we actually came from another game. A lot of us came from Stellaris, which is, we came from the mobile version, not the PC version, much to my regret. But, as a 11, almost 12-year EVAT, when I heard Evac was coming out, I knew where I was going. So we basically just, we all talked as a community, as an alliance, and as a server, because a lot of the people in that server in that game were pretty close together. And we all pulled together and formed originally Immortal Legion. We had so many members that we actually had to create Sour as well. It just kept going up from there. And by the time we created an alliance, we had over 400 members.
I didn't really know a lot of people played the Stellaris mobile game.
It's not huge.
I was hoping it was going to be good because Stellaris was kind of an addiction of mine for a while.
Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't rise to meet everyone's hopes.
So you guys are from Stellaris, the mobile game, and at least one of you, correct, is from EVE Online? You said 11-year vet?
Yeah, Mad Rage, yes. I played starting 2005, and I played up till, it'd be around 2016.
Well, it sounds like things are going well in Echoes, but how's it living up to your expectations, especially coming from other big mobile games and having played EVE Online prior?
It both meets and doesn't at the same time. I was quite surprised when I found out we could not have wars in HiSec. I mean, it was, I didn't plan to be there or anybody for very long, but it's still surprising because it's kind of hard to have those people who like to PvP come out to nullsec and have some experience. So you're going to get a lot of fresh players because of that. I'm kind of disappointed with how safe they're trying to make everything. Trying to make nullsec safe with gate guns or whatever system they decide to go with. I'm not sure which one they decided on. Nullsec should be what it is. If you come out here, it's a hard life. You got to be ready to die like the rest of us. If you're coming out to nullsec just to farm anomalies and expect no one to kill you, then you shouldn't be here at all.
One thing I wish more new bros would learn, there's risk associated with the reward. You can't get all the benefits of nullsec and the safety of HiSec.
Yeah, exactly. And it just comes down to the concept, like, why should it be okay to come out here and make tons of money and not have to go through the risk everyone else does? But we've been fortunate. Most of the people in the Armada are, I wouldn't say experienced, but they're at least willing to learn, and they're willing to take the advice of leadership, and they've done really well. I am proud of every one of the members of my alliance. Caiaphas has done a great job. He is fresh out of the gate. He never played Eve, and look at him now. He's doing great. He collects killmails. He's actually leading some of our fleets.
That's awesome. That is something you should be proud of. Being fleet commander's large responsibility.
It is, but it's a lot of fun too. It's been an interesting learning experience, seeing how things change and hearing everybody's takes on how things were in Evo versus here.
The nice thing about that is coming November, a lot of those things that made nullsec life what it was are coming to us. We're getting corp stations. We're getting bubbles, even though they're not anchorable bubbles as far as I'm aware. They're just ship-based bubbles. It's still going to be a big thing for us. And the people that are in these alliances in nullsec are going to learn how fun it can be out here and how difficult at the same time. But having those alliances behind your back will make a huge difference.
What would you say Eternal Armada offers somebody who was looking around, trying to find a new home?
A great community. Everyone here tends to get along. I mean, like every alliance, we have a few spats, but everyone's quick to get over it. We work together. We try to better everyone in our group. Like, our indie boys are phenomenal. Wes de Bear specifically has been working really hard to make sure everyone has what they need. All of our indie leads have been working hard. They offer a 20% off-market discount for all purchases inside of our alliance. We never even asked them for that.
It's how we're able to field, fleets of over 100 for some of our massive fleet ops. Is, the pilots feel comfortable that, they'll do everything they can to preserve their ship, but they'll feel comfortable that if they come and devote their time to engaging in a fleet op and having a blast, that, there really isn't anything at stake for them, because, the alliance will cover any potential losses. So it's also a way to, get people more involved and feel excited to go out and participate in a massive fleet battle and contribute to the strength of the alliance.
Yeah, it's definitely a great form of content that a lot of people miss out on.
I got to tell you, I'm an EVE Online newbie as well. I didn't have a lot of experience in that game. So when I came to EVE Echoes, it was very new for me as well. Blowing up that station the other day and being involved with that massive armada of 200 to 300 ships and seeing that station explode was nothing I've ever experienced. You can kind of get a glimpse of what it was like. We have a video on our Twitter and YouTube that kind of summarizes the battle, so you should definitely check it out. It's like you were there firsthand.
If you guys want to see that video, we will have a link to it in the episode notes. You guys providing proper ship replacement, that's going to do wonders for getting people the full EVE experience. So props for that.
Just to build on that, we have a lot of experienced players that are experienced in nullsec. So if you're nervous about coming to nullsec, you have this wealth of experience that will give to new joiners to stay alive.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure talking with the three of you. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
With a 15-minute window of opportunity, EA and their allies amassed to eradicate UA's player-owned station. While it was vigorously defended by UA and the Gen forces, in the end EA and their allies carried the day, driving all the Gen forces to retreat. EA forces gazed in awe as the UA station exploded in a mighty supernova. That's about 3.5 billion gone poof right there. There is a video in the show notes. That's it for us this week. As always, for a deep dive of the most important stories of the week in review, check out Eve Echo's weekly news update on YouTube, Echoes from the Front. The link to the channel is in the show notes like it always is. Alright guys, stay out of Jita, fly safe.